This is a common problem with these power supplies. You have a live, a neutral and an earth, and as you can see they're a bit frayed. I'll now demonstrate what happens when a little bit of force is applied to it. So now we're going to fit proper spade lugs and do it safely.
Absolutely. Oh well.
So now what we're going to do
I've always said to the people, when Michael starts to fiddle, and I do like to tinker, I just don't have the workshop to do it. When Michael fiddles, he must have a really big bank account in case he stuffs up.
Well, what we do is when Michael wants to fiddle, then we can come here.
Yeah, and a strict supervision. And I insist that. I'm just going to zoom up a little bit to see what you're doing.
I'm busy stripping the wire. I do actually have a proper wire stripper. This is terribly thin. This is like a 0.5, which is fine considering this thing draws 1.3 amps from the mains. It's like nothing for that thickness of wire. You see why you have a workshop with all the right tools?
Yeah, I know. You make me jealous here. Okay, I've zoomed up very close.
Like that, so that it's actually a bit tighter inside the lug. When you crimp these lugs, if you have a look, if you can zoom into that top of that lug, the lug is actually curled up and there's a gap down the middle. If you look at the crimping tool has a shoe and it has a receiving side. So what happens is you have to always put the rounded top receiving side where the split of the lug is, because if you don't, you put it upside down, it actually breaks the lug in half. So gentle squeeze and we have a proper, and I'm pulling very hard on here, short of breaking the wire. We have a very good connection there. Now an important thing that people don't really know about lugs and stuff like that is a solder joint is good and you can solder lugs, but I, in experience and being taught many years ago, was that a copper to copper joint is better, because when you crimp something together, the two metals actually go into each other. So you have this round part of the lug, and when you crimp it down, the two copper parts actually mesh with each other and they actually bond, they combine. Now as we're going to connect the power up,
got you.
Brown is live, blue is neutral, green is earth. You'll notice here there's the earth, neutral, live. That you actually connect things properly, because remember that your neutral in most places, and it should be, is earth actually. It's just that you have a voltage drop. And there's another stowaway. There we go. And then you click the little cover down. All the connections are safe. I can't get a shock. I can't get my fingers in there. I can't touch anything that can shock me. DMR, 40 meters. So that's why they're the closest here. The idea with the station was to have multiple operating positions, so that if we did do something like an activity, if we did actually do a hamnet exercise, I was like this, and I was, try 40 meters, okay, okay, no, try 10 meters, okay.
Oh, so
and then eventually I said, and of course I had the noise cancellers running, so these guys were out in the field and all they were getting was noise, and they couldn't hear me and I could hear them 5 and 9. So the idea is we can move the doggies out the way and put another chair here, have an operator on 40, 10, 80, 14 up to 28. Plus there's a 2 meter station here, which is very handy to be able to switch to the repeaters mainly. Then have an operator here logging, and then have an operator here, because here we've got DMR on UHF, we've got 70 centimeters here, we've got another HF radio here which is actually dedicated to 24 megahertz, 12 meters.
yeah.
And at the moment it's on 14095.6 because I'm using it for the whisper antenna because there's less noise, but for some reason the whisper's not working again. I need to find out what I've done wrong. I've changed something. This rig is 40, but this is on the G5RB, so this technically can go anywhere. I can tune this anywhere in the band. This radio is the wild card. This one can be used for anything depending on what antenna is plugged into it. At the moment, its antenna is just doing something else. I was experimenting with something else. It's actually on a 10-meter vertical dipole. And the idea behind having a vertical dipole is to work the guys who've got verticals. Not much success yet because not many people to talk to. The old Tono 5000 theta that I've got here, I'm learning how to use it. It takes a while. I gave it a full service. It's working like a dream. It's just I don't get any Morse code strong enough in there. And then my old FT221R that I bought at a flea market is sitting on 144-300 upper sideband in the hope that somebody will call, and it's on the Yagi pointing west, but no, never hear anybody. And then my good old FRG7 listening to LM radio. And then a very important one here. This is my very, very first radio I got when I was at school, when I passed my license, when I was 16. My father bought me this radio. It's a TR2200 GX.
Yeah.
It's a crystal controlled 2-meter radio. It's 25 kilohertz. It's really not of any use excepting on simplex. And yeah, it's still here and it still works. And it's gone through a lot. And then its brother, the TR2300, set on 500 simplex.